Everybody want to talk about getting your bag, getting your bag, getting your bag. Yeah, you need to get in your bag, but you also need to get in your past. Dig in your past. Find out why you feel the way you feel, why you act the way you act. Find out why you are who you are today. Do that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Psych Expansion Podcast, episode 11. How y'all doing today? Have y'all been doing any self-reflecting? If not, today is the day. You're not getting off the hook. You're here. You're stuck now. Getting your past is the title of today's episode. Do you know why you are who you are today? Yeah, we going there. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about myself and how I reflect on my situations or how I've dug in my past to better myself. You know what I'm saying? A big accountability shit over here, you feel me? Like we don't just blame other people. Big accountability shit over here. So, first things first, I was raised in a Christian household when I was younger, and as far as I can remember, I was happy. I always felt like I had love. I was always around my family. I was always curious though, right? What do they call me? No, they call me tramway truck head because I had a big ass head when I was young, and they compared my head to a 18-wheeler. Traumatic, I know. No, I'm playing. I didn't even think nothing of it. But yeah, I was always curious though. And around that time is really, I want to say I was anywhere between 7 to 10 years old. I started questioning the programming that my family had been going by. First things first was I questioned religion. Not necessarily in a deep way. I forget what it was since that was so long ago. That was, 22 years ago? But I questioned something and I asked a person that I would think would have known the answer, but they didn't. And I know everybody don't know all the answers. I get that. I'm not saying that they should have had all the answers. But I do feel like you should have some of the answers. Especially if you want to try and guide someone. If you believe in it, if you truly believe in it and you want to guide people to believe in what you believe in, you should be able to answer how it works a little bit. Just a little bit. Not just, you don't question God. That's not what I felt like I was doing. I had a question about the Bible. And I know that kind of put some distance in between me and my religion at that moment because it stuck with me. I still remember it to this day. I don't remember a lot of things from my childhood, right? There's some things that were traumatic that I do remember. That goes for all of us, right? We all have traumas or that we hold on to. Not necessarily saying we cry about it every day, but they stuck with us. And that was one of them for me. I remember like it was yesterday, to be honest with you. And that really put some distance in between me and my religion. The thing that I got from that, now that I'm older, is that I don't know if people, not just speaking on that one situation, just lessons that I've learned through the years or things that I've been told through the years. I don't know if people actually know why they believe in a thing. It has been most people that's been a part of my life. Most people will say they believe in something, but not know why. Not know anything about it. Papa told your mama and your mama told you, and that's just the way it's been ever since. That's just been the road you're supposed to go down. Those are the concrete rules you're supposed to live by. I think that when it comes to society, those same rules apply, right? That's why people don't step out of the way that majority people do things. Most people will either go to high school, go to college, get a job. Some people will go to high school, get a job. Some people will drop out, get a job. What I'm trying to get at is people just take that job route instead of trying to be some sort of entrepreneur or self-made person. And I think that's because just the comfort that a person would get from doing what majority of society does, it just feels like it's enough, right? It just feels like it's enough. You've done the school, you've done the high school, college, or whatever sequence of events you took. You did that and you got a job. This is what everybody else is doing. You're working. You're trying to make a living just like everybody else. You're doing enough. Also, I think that, and this one is a big one, because I don't want to seem like I'm trying to tell people to go against their family traditions, but things should be challenged. Ideas should be challenged. People are vulnerable to being misguided, misled. And this next one is basically the penalty a person would get for going against their family, right? Their family traditions. That holds a lot of people back. That's my whole point. People don't go against their beliefs. And it could either be you don't want to go against your family, or you don't want to be picked on by society, or you just feel like you're doing enough already. You've done everything else. You're just trying to make a living like everybody else. I can get that though, right? Especially the part about how you can try something and society give you pushback or badmouth you for trying something new. Here's the thing. People will badmouth you for trying something new. Like, you could be giving it your all. They will badmouth you for trying something new. And because you didn't get it right the first time, they on your ass. But those be the same people who complaining about their 9 to 5. Be the same people that complain about how things aren't getting better. The same people that complain about everything, can't make it to work on time. Those be the same people. They're unhappy. Don't let them people stop you. Continue to do you. Grind. Let me cool down. Listen, I get it. You got pushback. But does that justify why I'm going to go ahead and answer it. It doesn't justify. That pattern of you trying something, people said bad things about you. Don't let that pattern continue through you. Don't be the person to talk bad about somebody else whenever they don't make it. I'm gonna be real with you. That's flaw. No God looking at you. You feel me? I'll say this too. Here's a phrase that I like. I came across this earlier this week. And it says, don't let your own setbacks be the reason you discourage others. Use them as fuel to inspire and uplift those around you. Come on now. There gotta be somebody else feeling that same way I'm feeling right now. There has to be somebody else listening to this feeling the same way I'm feeling right now. I know somebody listening to this has picked on somebody else for going out trying to get something more, but didn't succeed the first or second time, or even the third time. Come on now. Why you doing that? What you getting out of that? Let's be real. What you getting out of that? Look at me. What you getting out of that? Oh, for y'all on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and other platforms, wherever y'all listening to it, I appreciate y'all for listening to it. But you can't see my face right now. But I'm in here damn near sweating. I'm getting heated thinking about it. It could be these clothes too, but I think it's this topic. You feel me? I'm gonna just let y'all know, man. Don't let those patterns continue through you. Don't be the bad guy. Just start something else. And maybe encourage that person and let that person encourage you. Woo! I'm telling y'all, man, I these topics like this just get me riled up. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because I see it all the time, and it's just like something that continues to happen. And at the same time, that person that gets ridicule or that pushback, you gotta be strong. You gotta have some grit. Drop your cojones. You feel me? Do something. You gotta realize that person is unhappy. And they don't think they have the same capabilities that you do. They see the progress. If you were doing nothing, if you were doing nothing, they wouldn't have their eyes on you. They wouldn't even know you. You know what I'm saying? What would they have to talk about? You doing something. You giving them something to talk about. Don't worry about it. You can't stop nobody from talking. You want to fight everybody that say something bad to you? You're going to be doing a whole lot of fighting. Somebody going to get the best of you. A lot of somebodies. I need you to ask yourself, is there a specific individual or experience, obstacle that has a significant impact on your personal growth and or shape your perspective? Is there somebody or something that shapes your perspective on things? And is that same thing or person stumping your growth? I'm telling you, a lot of times you're going to find that right around you. You ain't even got to look far. You ain't got to just open your eyes. You don't have to look far at all, my child. Auntie, aunt, papa, grandma. You don't got to look far. Because most of the time, those things that you think are holding you back probably are within too. A lot of the time, that's what it is. But you also have a community of people that surround you. And yeah, they're right in there. It's not that person that you barely talk to that probably says something negative every now and then. It's not them. It's them people that surround you majority of the time. It's them ones around you majority of the time. I guarantee it. I'm not saying every one of them, but there's somebody that whenever they speak, you listen. Not out of a fear thing, but you just respect their word. And they may not be doing anything. So anytime you're about ready to do something, they ready to tell you, oh, that's gonna be hard. Oh, I seen so-and-so do that. Yeah, they ain't turn out well for them. You doing good at that job. You might as well stay at that job. Listen. Get them out of your ear. You feel me? I've tried many things in life, right? I've tried many things in life. And anybody that knows me personally, which everybody that's listening to this podcast is eventually going to get to know me, especially if you were returning. But I've tried many things in life, right? From rapping to trading Forex, which is basically trading currencies, gaming, streaming. I've done so many things. I've literally made it to the point where I don't care what anybody else says about me. I care what they say. I would want a person to think good about me. I care what they say about me. But it's not to the point where if you say, Gabriel, you're not smart enough to do this, you shouldn't do it. Or Gabriel's over there struggling when he knows she be doing this. Or whatever. Especially if you're a person that's never tried anything and you don't want to do more than, I guess, what's expected of you. You don't take no risk. How you going to tell me? And I'm not just saying, listen, and I'm not being arrogant. It's just that if you got a brand new job and you went in that job and let's just say you were dealing with clothes, somebody from the local pea plant, where they sell beans and stuff, you gonna let them come in and tell you what you supposed to be doing? No, because they had never had that job. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. A lot of times people will be so quick to tell another person what they should be doing whenever they're not doing anything or they've never done it a day in their life. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. That happens so often. And then they get mad. Let's just say you do it. You don't get it right on your first time and they find out about it. They get mad, be like, man, I told you don't need to be doing this. You should have listened to me. What? Who was you? You know what I'm saying? Not in a disrespectful way, but you've never done anything like this. Why should I just take your advice? What gives you credit? Other than maybe you lived longer than me, but you've never done this. You could be 90 something years old. You can't go tell no snowboarder how to the proper way to go snow down a hill just because you've been living longer. You know what I'm saying? I said snow down a hill, surf or whatever it's called, ski. You get the point. But listen, I just want to say one thing that I'm pretty sure that most of us have in common, right? I told you I've gamed, I've played the currency, I've rapped, I've done a lot of things to try to step out of the norm, my family's traditional way of living life or going about. I don't even know if my family calls it success, to be honest with you. I don't know if they've thought about what success looks like to them. I'm gonna just keep it all the way 100 with you. I don't know if they have, but I've done those things. But one thing that we all have in common, that we've all worked a job of some sort. Yes. And the thing that I realized is that, especially now that I'm older, I didn't too much understand it back then. Most people don't manage money well. You get that check, barely hits your wallet, your pocket. You spending it while you cashing it. You spending it on the way to cash it. You spending it on the way depositing it. That check is almost gone before you got so many plans for that check. Not to grow it, not to grow the money, but to just spend it on luxuries, on things that please you. And I'm not saying you shouldn't treat yourself every now and then, but every now and then you should think about how to grow your money instead of just spending it. Balance. And it ain't gotta be 50-50. It can be 20-80. But it gotta be some type of balance. Or else you manage your money incorrectly. I'm telling you, I learned this now that I'm older. Most people don't manage their money they don't manage their money well. Therefore, most jobs aren't gonna pay you what you feel is enough. And then that's gonna cause you to feel stuck. You're gonna be like, oh man, this job ain't paying me enough. I ain't never gonna get out of here. They got the money. They could be doing this. They could be doing that. Whenever all you have to do is put $10 away this week. Not go out to eat 3 times a week. Not go out to eat twice. Go out to eat 1 time a week. Be happy. Save some money. Learn how to cook. Get you some glizzies. For y'all a little bit older, glizzies is just hot dogs. But get you some hot dogs. Some beef hot dogs. We don't do the swine. We don't do the swine. No pork. Get you some ramen noodles. Pink salmon and rice. Listen, I'm telling y'all, when I was younger, this is how we got through it. This is how we got through it. We didn't have a whole lot, but we ate. And I appreciate that. So, these are the meals right here. You got the pink salmon and rice. You got the hamburger helper. You got the hot dog. You can sometimes get hamburgers with it. Then you got the honey buns in the cabinet. You gotta be, you know what I'm saying? You got the honey buns. You got the oatmeal pies. listen, man, I don't even want to get too deep into that. Not to get too deep into that. Yeah, but sometimes you just gotta sacrifice. That's my whole point. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice. Stop looking on Instagram and social media, whatever social media you on, and listen to other people, how good they living. You don't know their sacrifice. That's one thing a lot of people don't show is their sacrifice. What they had to sacrifice to get to where they at. What they're still sacrificing. And it may be things that you don't want to sacrifice. You look at these rappers and they made it from the streets. You want that lifestyle, but you don't want what they had to sacrifice. And I don't blame you. I'm not sacrificing my freedom. Like, I don't want to go to jail. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to step foot near there. I'm not sacrificing that. But to be on a more general side of it, you don't want to sacrifice time to read a book. You don't want to sacrifice money that you would spend on alcohol to buy a course or a couple courses that's going to take you a year to complete. But it's going to put you in a whole nother, it's going to put you on a whole nother level. It's going to put you on a whole nother wave. You're going to be looking like, dang, I just did that in a year. A lot of times we sit here and we go through life and we be like, yo, this year went by fast. And guess what? It's not going to slow down if you buy a course and you steady learn that course. That same year that went by fast would have went by just as fast if you would have bought that course. But you would have been in a better position that following year. Hopefully. But again, I realize that most people don't manage their money well. Therefore, most average jobs will never pay you what you feel is enough, which causes you to be surrounded by individuals who feel stuck. The learning point within all that for me is I learned that money management, patience, discipline, setting goals, and consistency can get you out of that situation. Setting goals. A lot of people don't set goals. And it's been 2 years now. 2 years that I've started setting goals. Like, it could be the smallest thing, but I'm setting that goal. I want it done. I know I procrastinate. I need that goal completed. I write it down. I put it up. That way I see it every day. I'm constantly reminded of it. I may not do it that day. I may not do it that next week. I may not do it a month from then. But the more I see it, the more I know I needed to get it done. Because I know if I get that thing done, my life is going to get a little bit better. A little bit better. It gives you something to work towards. You know what I'm saying? You get a job, you work towards the money. You're happy when you get the money, but what else? What happens when you get the money? What happens when you get the money? You look forward to the weekend to spend it, and then what? You back to the beginning. You're looking forward to getting the money. You're looking forward to the weekend, spend it. Now you're looking, same pattern. You see what I'm saying? Set you a goal. Get out of that. They call it the rat race. That's what it is, the rat race. It's chasing that dollar. Chasing that dollar just to go spin it on poison. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to criticize you. I'm not going to ridicule. I'm not going to do none of that. Because I do drink too a little bit. You feel me? I'm not saying that I'm perfect. No. That's not what I'm saying. Chill. I'm not sitting here playing Mr. Goody Two Shoes like I do everything right. But I'm just telling you things that I learned. Right? You want me to just sit up here and just tell you everything I done wrong? Okay, those are some things that I done wrong. I just didn't sit here and point out every little thing. Don't be mad when somebody point out a something where they think that you can improve in, an area where they think you can improve in. You got to be able to take some type of criticism. It's constructive criticism. You have a bad connotation on the word criticism. You think somebody's picking on you. No, they care about you. They know you can do better. They want you to do better. But you got to also be able to cipher in between criticism and hate. And also, hate is still good, though. When somebody hating on you, come on. What Cat Williams say, if you got 14 haters right now. You need to figure out a way to have 16 before the summer. You feel me? It's a balance, though. It's a balance. Like I said, again, you gotta have that grit. You gotta have some type of grit. So yeah, the learning point for me is I learned that money management, patience, discipline, setting goals, and consistency can get you out of that situation. Consistency, discipline, patience, setting goals. Set you some goals. I've always wondered, we're going to stick on this money situation for a little bit because everybody like to talk about money. Who don't like to talk about money? Who don't like to talk about money? Thank you. Thank you. So what I've learned is, another thing that I learned is when you're around a certain group of people and you're like, man, I wish somebody would have told me that when I was younger, or ain't nobody ever told me that. Yeah. It just now hit me. They didn't tell me back then because they didn't know. They did not know how to manage money. They didn't know what to invest in. You say invest, they gonna invest in that alcohol bottle or whatever. Invest. You telling me I gotta get my money and I can't see no money right away? They ain't gonna give me my money back tomorrow or next week? You tell me I gotta wait 3-4 months to a year? Or, oh no, I ain't investing in nothing. That's most people's mindset. It's like, why though? You know where it's at. Oh, the stock market be crashing. Do you know what that means? That means it's a sale going on. You should put more money in if you're investing in a good company. This is not financial advice. I'm not even gonna get too deep into that. But you just hear people say, oh, the stock market crashed, I lost my money. Come on, you gotta know the game in order to, like, you can't just listen to anybody. That a lot of people just invest in the stock market, and just because they try and get a quick dollar, they never learned the game. What you think a 401k is? They invest your money in the stock market, except now you don't get to pick. You can lose money in a 401k too. Did you know that? Wouldn't you want to pick what you're investing in yourself? Let me drink some of this coffee, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it is 1:14 in the morning and I'm over here raging right now. Yeah, but a 401k, invest your money. Again, they didn't tell me back then because they didn't know. They didn't know how to manage their money. They didn't know how to invest their money. They still don't know how to manage their money or invest their money. They don't practice it. That's why you were never told those things. That's why you always say, why didn't nobody tell me this when I was young, or I was never told that? Because the people that surround you don't know, or didn't know, or they know and they still don't practice it. You know what I'm saying? There's another phrase that I really like. It says, to know how to do a thing but not do it is the same as to not know how to do something. So basically, I can know how to do something. I can know how to start this podcast up, but if I don't do it, it's the same thing as me not knowing how to do it. You're getting the same result. So you can know that you're supposed to be managing money, but if you don't do it, you're in the same boat as that person that don't know how to. You can have that one. You can have that one. I get that one to you. I just got to make one thing clear. Just to be clear, I am accountable for all of this. I told you, big accountability shit over here. We not blaming nobody. We've already discussed, you point one finger, you got 3 pointing back at you. Pinky, ring, middle. You feel me? We're not pointing no fingers. We're not pointing your fingers. I take accountability for where I'm at today. I'm not saying it's my mother's fault. I'm not saying it's her parents' fault. I'm not saying it's my father's fault. It's none of their fault. I've been in this world long enough. I've had plenty of chances to make the right decision. I just went with the wrong one too many times. I'm not going to say too many times because I'm still alive. And I am growing. I'm a better person than I was. Listen, if you would have seen me 2 years ago and you would see me now, you would have thought I was faking back then or faking now or whatever. You would be like, yo, this is crazy. I take accountability for all that though. Everything. Because the whole time I knew right from wrong. I knew what I should have been doing, what I shouldn't have been doing. But I just made the choice to have fun. But you work hard now, have fun later. That's my motto now. I'm just taking y'all along my journey back into the past. That's all. And I hope y'all enjoying it, man. Listen, I hope that y'all have been enjoying this, right? We're just reflecting. We're just looking back in the past to try to correct our future. You know what I'm saying? If you don't change anything that you've been doing in the last 5 years, guess what them next 5 gonna be like? I'm just letting you know. Just guess what they gonna be like. The same. I'm just telling you. That's just the truth. I said before how I've never seen a relationship that I would consider to be true love or display what, love is. Like someone in my immediate family or proximity, I don't think I've ever had that display of affection and love personally. Most of the time what I experience is people get together based off of material things and physical features, and later on down the road, these same people who got together because of those things don't have goals, or maybe one does and the other doesn't. They didn't really get to know each other. The communication wasn't there in the beginning. It just wasn't there because again, they just got together for the wrong reason. That display of affection and love has never been shown to me. Yeah. The communication is usually the fucking problem. That's it. The communication is usually the fucking problem with a lot of relationships around me. People just don't know how to talk to each other. They don't know how to communicate their feelings. And since y'all want me, I know y'all probably, you keep saying y'all, you do. I'm gonna tell you about me, right? My issue, looking back, I simply didn't know how to communicate. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't know how to communicate my feelings. I didn't know what was valuable in a woman. I just didn't know how to be vulnerable. I don't even know how to explain, what I was thinking at that time. I guess I was benefiting from it. I had a girlfriend. We were having sex. And I mean, everything but the argument was good. We lived in a good spot. We had decent jobs. I don't know. Arguing though, communication. I think our egos collided too much. Our egos collided bad. She was smart as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I put a lot of logic into my reasons, and I put a lot of logic into why I do things, and sometimes she wouldn't get it, and we would argue, and I didn't know how to communicate what I was doing, and she didn't want to be wrong. And listen, it's just communication, right? Communication is really the problem with a lot of relationships that I've seen, outside of myself. That's just it. People don't want to be wrong. People don't know how to communicate their feelings. People aren't emotionally available for their spouse. So now whenever you do apologize or whatnot, it's like the sincerity it's just not there. It's just not the same feeling, because you don't even know what you're apologizing for most of the time. You just doing it just to make her happy. You know what I'm saying? That's not the way to do things. You should. I don't really know how to explain it. I've gotten way better with my communication though, to be honest with you. Like way better. That's one thing I really focus on the most, is how to talk to people, how people perceive things, trying to look at it from their perspective more than looking at it from mine, just because for the simple fact I know my perspective on things. And I'm really just trying to get in I'm trying to be the person behind your skin, trying to really understand what's going on here. Yeah. So if I had one thing to say, it's just work on your communication. But off of the relationship thing, it still is a relationship, but it's not like boyfriend, girlfriend. I had so many people leave out my life, and it's because of various of reasons. And I'm talking about people that's close to me. Close. Like this. Fingers crossed. I want people for their fingers crossed, and they're just displaying how close you are, how close the relationship is. Close. I had people leave out my life, and that had shielded me to where I just don't let people get close to me. I didn't, right? I let some people get close to me now, but I'm more picky with who. It's like a vetting process they have to go through. I can't just, hey, bud, nice to meet you. We're best of friends now. Let's hang out. You're going to be my best partner for some years. I know it. No, it takes a while. It takes a while. I'm like that with now. I got to step back into the relationship thing, but I'm like that with women now too. I don't just, yeah, I got to get to know you. I got to get to know what you about. Like, what's on your mind? Are you emotionally stable? What are some of the things you've been through? You got to, because some people just don't want to live back in that past and fix those things. And I can't be living with that my whole life, because I'm good. I'm working on it. I know what I got to do. I may not have touched on everything. I'm not saying I'm perfect again, but I'm working on it. I need you to be right there along, not living my journey, but living a journey of your own personal development, communication. It took me some years, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It took me some years to become comfortable with my bald head. And I'm not gonna show you right now because I haven't cut my hair. So it's like my hairline bad. So if I were to take my hat off now, I would have like hair here. Not like patches. I said here. But it's not like patches. It's not patches, but I got a bare hairline. So I cut my hair bald, right? But I didn't have a bad hairline before I cut my dreads. And when I cutting my dreads, I had to prove the whole process. A lot of people don't even know, but I had two people in my life, and they said things. I don't know if they know I felt as strongly as I felt about those things that they said, but it made me want to cut my dreads for the simple fact it was in the sense of my dreads made me. And I didn't believe that. So one day I drank and I cut my hair. I cut it. I was thinking, I was like, yep, cut my hair. I know my hair didn't make me, and I know it still doesn't make me. I'm not about to show y'all, but I got pictures on Instagram if you want to see. I think my Instagram main photo is my hair bald if you want to see. But I had to prove to myself. I really felt a weakness in that, right? Because I was thinking to myself, it's like, does my hair really make me? Though that may have been a fool's thought to play into whatever you want to call it, what they were doing by saying the things that they said. I wanted to prove that to me. I wanted to be 100% comfortable with me. And I cut my hair bald. And when I did it, I didn't know how to be comfortable with myself. For the longest time, I wore hats. And don't get me wrong, I still wear hats to this day. But like back then, I even wore hats when I had dreads. When my hairline was in great shape, healthy, I wore hats. Hats has always been a thing, but when I cut my hair bald, it was more like, you couldn't get this motherfucker off my head. I did not like my hair, y'all, when I cut it bald. And I tried to grow it back out, and my hair was growing funny. I like Mr. Jefferson off the Jeffersons or whatever his name is. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. But what I did was I started being like, why do you feel this way, bro? Do you really think your hair made you? You're smart. I'm intelligent. I'm wise. And I'm funny, I would say. Whatever. I don't care if you don't think so. I communicate well. I'm a good people's person. Basically, I listed all the great things about myself and said, you have all this and you're worrying about your hair. That was the day that I posted myself on Instagram, I believe, just to whatever. I'm good now. Right now, like literally right now, I'm good. I don't care. I don't care a lick about my hair. It's gone. Low key, my dreads got stolen too, because I was going to get them twisted back in. But let me tell you what happened real quick. I was working on a pipeline. I had a Jeep. My Jeep's transmission went out, so I parked that at a CVS. I came back almost a day later. Thought it got towed. Called the police department. Apparently, it was in a bad neighborhood. She thought that I knew that. I called my insurance. They thought I had the van stolen because I couldn't provide all the paperwork because I was out of state working and whatever. So I said, F it. But anyways, I had cut my hair. It was in a bag, in a box, in my Jeep. And yeah, dreads got stolen. I couldn't put them in if I wanted to. I think that's just a lesson from God to be comfortable with who I am. That was him just pushing me to be comfortable with who I am. Nah, you was gonna do this. If I would have left that there for you, you was gonna put them back in your head. Get comfortable with who you are. You strong. You feel me? Be confident. I gave you that brain. I gave you all these traits. I gave you all that. Live in that. But yeah, that was that. I am comfortable with myself now though. I really wish I could grow a beard though. I really wish I could do that. But yeah, again, these are just a few things that I've reflected on and still dive deep into these things to this day, right? These same things that we've just talked about get thought about multiple times a week. Not because I feel shame or am disappointed or nothing, anything to bring me down is not the reason that I go back and think about those things. I think about those things to keep myself reminded of the growth, the development I've already had. And it keeps it fresh on my mind. Be like, yo, we not going back. We not doing this again. You feel me? You know how when you make it to a certain level in life and you just living in that, you comfortable, you good, and you like, I'm not going back to that no more. I'm not doing that again. They don't deserve me. I'm not speaking on anybody specific or a specific group, but it's just like, I wasn't looking out for me back then. I wasn't caring about me. Trying to make everybody else happy. I care about y'all, but I can't make all of y'all happy because y'all don't even know what make y'all happy. You feel me? How you gonna make somebody else happy that don't know what makes them happy? That's what I was doing. I was living my life trying to fulfill the happiness of others. Yeah. That's what it was. I'm good. I'm telling you, I'm good. I'm good, baby. I'm growing, baby. I'm telling y'all, give it. I can't put a number on God's timeline, but I know my time is coming. And this podcast is getting lengthy. So let me just go ahead and wrap this up. Again, I'm not afraid to tell you who I am. I'm not too proud or overran by ego to admit I've been wrong, and I am wrong. I stay saying wrong shit, not intentionally, but I don't know everything. I'm learning myself. I'm comfortable and discovering more of myself. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. If you know better, tell me I'm wrong. I'm not going to be mad at you. I have a choice to either listen to you or go on about my day. I'm going to still do my research regardless. But tell me I'm wrong so I can stop being wrong. I'm not full of ego. I'm not like everybody else. I'm not like them. Tell me I'm wrong. It's okay. I know I'm not always right. It's fine with me. I need these things so I can keep improving. I need it. We should never want to feel like we're always right or never wrong. We should never feel like we're the best that we can be. Because then what's next? I'm the best I can be. What's next? You feel me? Just be better than you were yesterday. Get in your past. Get in your past. Get in your bag and get in your past. Get in your bag and get in your past. I'm telling you. But most importantly, get in your past and discover why you are who you are today. I think that in the future, though, speaking forward, I think that we'll have these AI systems that'll have so much information on us that we'll be living with on a daily basis that it'll be able to extract, right? Like it'll be able to extract certain patterns that's ingrained in us, certain things that we do, certain ways that we feel about people doing certain things to us or saying certain things to us, why certain words hurt us. It'll be able to tell us that. It'll be able to be like, listen, this is why this hurts you, because your parents back in the day did this and now you have this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's coming. It already has the capabilities to compress large amounts of data and pull out commonalities within it. Let's just say it has a lot of your information. Everything in your phone, everything you've ever typed on social media. And it can just pick out certain patterns that's within you that need to be corrected or thought about, improved, whatever the case may be. AI has several ways that it learns, right? Just to tell you this one thing. AI has several ways that it learns. The one that I've been studying is called unsupervised deep learning, which is a part of machine learning. In a sense, AI is given object with no way to identify what it is or where it belongs. Through several repeated methods and algorithms, the AI on its own will begin to identify and pair the objects together. It'll start identifying types of fur, structure, movement, sounds, colors, and who knows what else. No, literally, who knows what else? No one. It's able to identify so many different patterns within objects. The human eye couldn't even pick it up, nor could we even comprehend it. Right? The computer has eyes. Not, of course, you know the camera, but it has eyes. It can see. It can learn on its own. But that is called unsupervised learning. So now moving on to the African intelligence segment. Today, we'll speak on Professor Charles Isbell, now Dean of Computing at Georgia Institute of Technology, Georgia Tech. He is from Atlanta and attended college in Atlanta. After graduating, he went to MIT and got a PhD in machine learning. Unsupervised learning, what we just talked about, is a part of machine learning. And that's why he got his PhD in machine learning. Some of his accomplishments are, for his dissertation, he developed a novel algorithm for inferring sparse multi-level structures from a large collection of electronically available text. This was done in an unsupervised way, using principles from statistics and information theory. I know, like, I'm gonna tell you what this means. So, Basically, what this means is he created a new algorithm that can analyze a vast amount of electronically available text. The algorithm can identify patterns and hierarchical relationships within the text data. Most importantly, it was completed in an unsupervised manner, meaning that the algorithm can learn to extract information without the need for pre-labeled or annotated data. Bow. Smart man. Some of his more recent projects or accomplishments are he has won 2 Best Paper Awards for technical contributions in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Isbell was inducted as a Fellow of the Association for Computing Machinery in 2018 with the citation for contributions to interactive machine learning and for contributions to increasing access and diversity in computing. Getting them colored folks in there dough. Getting colored folks in the dough. Feel me? Bravo, my brother. Some of his hobbies are he has wrote hip-hop reviews, used to run the annual New Jack Hip-Hop Awards, ran the funky music and hip-hop mailing list, and more than 15 years, he maintained the This Week in Black History page and calendar. He also likes racquetball, weightlifting, and ultimate frisbee. And he has a family. Random fact about Isbell, Charles Isbell, is that he dislikes when people calls it Georgia Tech rather than Georgia Institute of Technology. And today I listened to an interview of his and on the Lex Friedman podcast, and he said this, right? There's nothing wrong with doing it at the last minute as long as you know when the last minute is. Say that one more time for you. He said there's nothing wrong with doing it at the last minute as long as you know when the last minute is. Professor Charles Isbell. Give it up for Charles Isbell, y'all. That has been our African intelligence segment, the AI segment. Don't get it confused with artificial intelligence. You feel me? Yeah. Okay, before we end this, right, I want to give you a message. Let me get close. If you believe God is perfect and makes no mistake, if you truly believe that, how could you ever be flawed? Get comfortable, be confident, and prosperous. Don't give society the power to determine your happiness without ever challenging it. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to this week of the Psych Expansion Podcast. We are on episode 11. As you all may know, the season ends episode 12. But listen, don't worry. Everything's gonna be all right. We're not stopping at 2. Like, we're not gonna take a week off or 2 weeks off when we get to episode 12 and switch to season 2. I'm gonna just tell you what season 2 is gonna do. We're gonna have a new thumbnail, and we're gonna have guests on the show. Yes, we about to start talking to some people, learning what other people got going on, learning what other people thinking, seeing if those other people challenge my belief system, see if they could change my mind. And if you have some good opinions and if you have some good thought processes, just let me know in the comments or email us at the Psych Expansion Podcast. Email me at betterlevelup@gmail.com. And the Psych Expansion Podcast is at gmail.com as well. Or you can hit us up on Instagram at the Psych Expansion Podcast. Or you can follow my direct page, _AskGabriel. Again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This has been episode 11 of the Psych Expansion Podcast. Peace, love, and joy.